Greetings, all. Welcome to Aquarian Diary. I'm your host, John Irving. It is April 10th, 2023. Another concept that I think is commonly, if not misunderstood, definitely discounted or unappreciated, is the question of collective consciousness, what it is, and how it affects us. If you've been listening to some of my recent episodes, I've talked a lot about how the energies of other people, of places, and even of disincarnate beings can affect us. Anybody with even slightly advanced psychic or intuitive abilities knows exactly what I'm talking about. Things outside of ourselves can alter our energy, which then alters our experience, which alters our perceptions, or colors our perceptions and experiences to varying degrees, depending on the quality of those energies and their strength. If we assume that to be true, there's another dimension or layer to this phenomenon, which is that not only are we affected by things that are in very close proximity to us, we are also affected by things that aren't. That means things that aren't in our immediate environment, but that are still affecting us energetically. Think your village, your town, your city, your country, your continent, the whole world. And then there are all of the non-material dimensions that most of us don't even perceive, but that are real. Humanity is a species, Homo sapiens sapiens, and we are very powerful creative beings. So there is a collective level consciousness that exists for us as a species. Think of it like an amalgam or a mixture of the energy of every person on the planet. And that consciousness is almost like a separate being or a separate entity, like the hive mind that we are a part of and that we're kind of swimming in all the time. This is what is referred to as collective consciousness. So that collective consciousness has a bearing on, or it affects, our experience. If humanity as a whole was in a much more enlightened state overall, our experience as individuals would be quite different from what it is right now. On the other hand, if you went back to the Dark Ages, you would be affected by that collective consciousness, which was lower and a lot darker. So as humanity progresses, overall, its consciousness rises, and therefore all of the individuals that make up that collective, their consciousness will be impacted and will rise overall as a result. There will be outliers on both the low end and on the high end, but overall, the average collective consciousness over time should increase. Now, here's the important part for you individually, is that although that's what you're experiencing, that is not you. Your own particular individual state of consciousness is a reflection of your own state of evolution, of your own awareness, of your environment, of your upbringing, your community, your past life karma, and many other factors. You can still shift your consciousness even though you are part of the collective. And this is why I advocate doing spiritual practice, grounding, clearing, protection, and so on, because what that does is that it begins to shift your energy and eliminate aspects of energies that are not really yours, but that you're just picking up from your environment. And when we do this over time, we begin to express an energetic state that more accurately reflects our own true individual nature and state of being. That just makes sense. There is another benefit to raising your consciousness and purifying your energy to be a more accurate reflection of your higher self or your higher intentions or your soul. And that is that as you resonate those higher, purer, more enlightened energies, you influence or affect your environment locally, your family, your community, and so on. And you also have a small incremental effect on the global consciousness. So by raising your own consciousness, you are aiding in the evolution of humanity because you are a contributor to that collective consciousness. Some people are much more powerful than others. Typically, more spiritually evolved people emanate more power, and so they have a greater effect on the collective consciousness. But as you raise your energies, you become a more powerful being because there is less resistance within you to the divine, and you are able to express more power and energy in your life and in your being, which, like I said, contributes to raising the consciousness of humanity. So not only are you serving yourself by raising your energy, you are serving your community, the planet, and the collective consciousness of humanity. What will happen on planet Earth, which I believe we will experience during the age of Aquarius, is that the darkness will be much less prevalent than it is now because there will be a lot more light here. There literally will be less room to accommodate the darkness because the two energies kind of repel each other. They are opposite energies. In the future, if humanity progresses as a whole, it will be increasingly easy for individuals to achieve a state of spiritual enlightenment than it is right now, because the energies now are still quite dense. In the future, there will be less resistance and less external pressure that limit and undermine us. I would like people to think about the importance of lifting your consciousness, not only for your own benefit, but for the benefit of all, which is a very Aquarian age theme. Collective consciousness. My episode on Pluto in Aquarius was titled Dawn of Collective Consciousness. We, in this period, are going to learn how to use energy to shift reality. And we will do this intentionally and consciously. This is the next stage of human evolution. In the Piscean age, we looked for answers outside of ourselves. We looked for figures or figureheads to take responsibility or accountability for the way things were or for our state of being. In the Aquarian age, we will take personal accountability for the collective experience, and the more advanced people will do so intentionally, deliberately, and with a great deal of care and concern, because in order to work with very powerful energies, you must be aligned with them. So it's very difficult to abuse these energies because you can't even gain access to them unless you are in a purer state of consciousness. The forces of light are far more powerful than the forces of darkness. That is a Piscean age lie, the belief that darkness and light are equal. So to summarize, by doing your own work, by dedicating yourself to your own spiritual practice, you are advancing your own cause and evolution, but you are also affecting everyone else's. And so you are actually being of service, not just to yourself, but to everyone. If you've ever been in the presence of someone who is spiritually enlightened, and again, there are very few of them, but they radiate power and energy that you can feel from a great distance. It's a truly remarkable thing to experience if you ever get the chance. They're on a completely different level. And it's not like they're sitting there doing it consciously, it just radiates off them. So the more we advance, the better off everyone is. Thanks for your support. Thanks for your likes, shares, and comments. If you're interested in an astrology reading, which can help you understand what your evolutionary intent was for this lifetime, I'll put a link to that in the description. I will also put a link to the ongoing workshops or classes I am doing, which help people shift their energy in positive ways. Note that I will be providing instruction, but you will be required to do your own work on your own time. Take care, all the best, and I'll talk to you again soon.